Test 1 2 1 2. I mean, Richard Pryor was doing some, big things in the 80s, but he was also putting out a lot of trash.
His show was popular. I'm gonna tell you this before we start. Richard Pryor is the only show that the popularity was breaking records, but he only had 5 shows.
5 episodes, you mean?
5 episodes.
Yep.
Because this shit was too powerful, man. He did that shit. When he did that shit, that museum shit.
Test. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, when he did that shit.
Test.
Test
1 2 1 2. Okay, we good.
At the same time, this was the same time when that piece that Commander Junior Hunter talked about when he went out to Queens and they was battling the Jews and they brought out the cover of Time magazine, or was it Life magazine or whatever, and it was about it showed the pictures of the Israelites being black. That was the same time. That came out about the same time.
So when it was Queens.
Yeah, you didn't hear Commander Junior Hunter say they had camp out in Queens, and the Jews came out against them.
Oh shit.
Out in Queens.
Did you say where in Queens?
Because
I know they had camp in Howard Beach.
No, this was when it might be
after they killed that brother at that pizza.
No, this was where Jews were.
Oh.
And he said,
shit might be in Forest Hills. That's where I'm from.
We got Jews looking on.
I can't remember exactly.
The so-called, of course.
And yeah, but he said it. He said like that. That was the day when he when he brought out with who was it? Shia? Who was the brother that recently died? That Commander Junior Water Red.
Oh, Arya? No.
Arya.
Yeah, Arya. He said when Arya told him like, yo, that's when Arya told him like, even Ali, But this article came out in Life of Time magazine. Ooh, that shit's sweet.
Oh yeah, you gonna take somebody's head off. You.
We take this shit again.
I don't think so.
Oh man, you ready to go?
Oil, man. This shit.
Bulletproof joint.
Woo. Fuck off, Captain America. You know what I'm saying?
Most High in Christ. Let's clap it up. Hey, Shalom, Yahweh Hashem Shkata. Come on, sure. Oh no, this is a bottle's fine. Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shabbat Thumb to the brothers. Yahweh Shamar, Yahweh Thun Hashem Yahweh Shabbat all the sisters. Salakis. What? Salakia for the delay. Let's have some little bit of technical difficulties just getting this this joint right here on the computer. So I see you, Akash. My bad, brother. I know you was waiting. Hey, Shalom, how about Shem, how Shabbat?
Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shabbat.
Salakia, I cannot hear you. Let me check my it doesn't seem like you're muted. Let me check on my side. Salakia, I'm assuming you can hear me though.
Can and one can.
Yeah, okay, so you hear me. I cannot hear you. How about now? You gotta say something, Akash?
Can and one can, sir.
There we go. Most High in Christ. God, someone had muted my laptop. I don't know why that happened, but here we go. Okay, let's get it. We're gonna get, since we started late, we're gonna get right into it for today. There we go. Most High in Christ. So last week, the last thing we did was we went into some directions. We were just kind of breaking the monotony a little bit. we still on the topic of possessives, pronominals, inflections, and such. All right, you see, I had to get the white version of the joint. I mean, you never had Patron?
Yeah, I was never a big fan of Trump. You know what I'm saying? But especially when it's like big and popped off like now. I mean,
Patron is always popular. What are you talking about? Not was always in light, but I mean, it's since it came into popularity, it's maintained its popularity.
I think that's Jay-Z. I tend to like go opposite direction with Jay-Z.
Yeah, you're just a contrarian, Mike Shaw. I got you. So we were talking about possessives again. We're talking about pronouns, the relationship between them, and such. We're going to continue with that today. We got to finish up a little bit with these directions, okay? There's like two more I want to just throw into the loop before we go ahead and get right back into these possessives and show all the many ways and how this right here, if there's one thing I want you to take away from class today and the past few classes, is that possessives, pronouns, pronominals, you could also call them prefixes and suffixes, prepositions as well. That is like it's a good word. I won't say meat and potatoes. No. You could, but no. We'll just say that is the foundation, bedrock, foundation or bedrock, whichever one you like, of understanding Hebrew. Why? Because that is what is going to govern the movement of the language. As with anything else, it's all about movement. It's all about traffic. That's what life is all about. It's about the movement of things. Okay? So we can have words, basic words, but if we can't make the words move, if we can't make them flow, if we can't bring the words to life, then it won't really mean much. We need the words to do what? To speak life. Why? Because what is language all about? What's the purpose of it? Conveying messages, also known as
Communication.
communication. That's the whole point of this. It's not just to be fancy and look nice and say we can say Shema all. It's to be able to communicate ideas between each other without having to say up, down, left, right. Hi, how you doing? My name is Jerry, or whatever the hell your name. My name is not Jerry, but I'm just saying. That's what we're trying to get to, and that's the whole point. When we're reading that Hebrew in the Sabbath service, think the same thing. Don't think you're just reading some arbitrary, oh, this is just some words here. No, you are reading communication. Ideas being transferred from one mind to the next, right? There's nothing spooky about it. It's just real life. But if you really think about it, it's quite deep. Pause, right? How I can say to my Yeshua, something starts in my brain. I would like some water. And I can transfer what's in here to his brain, pause. And then an action occurs. And now I have a water because this brother, you know what I'm saying, this was kind enough to get me a water. And that's what we're doing. All of this, everything is all about communication. All right. So let's we haven't done this one in a while. Give me the language of angels. That's all. We're not going to do no other scriptures to start off because we started so late. Just give me language of angels. Tongues of men. It's better yet, Salakia.
Okay.
So if I could, if anybody does want to join the live, you know what I'm saying, just like you see my brother Trooper Akash card right there, you also can do that as well. Just going over to our Isupk Durham YouTube or the Goldsboro YouTube, and I've just posted the link in the chat. You can click on that link and you can come into the class. You know what I'm saying? Khan. You know what I'm saying? That's what you got to do. But go ahead, Maya Shar. Let them know where you at and go ahead and read it.
It's the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 13, verse 1. Though I speak with the tongues of men.
Right. So first off, he says though, starting off his sentence or his statement, meaning what? Yeah, Yanazar.
It simply means that he speaks different languages.
We're not quite there yet. You're right, but that's not where we was going just yet.
Though, okay, though.
When he says, though I speak with the tongues of so on, the though there's just a way of saying what?
It's a way of although
or right.
Even though.
Although or even though.
Yeah.
Right? Which you use in the sentence at the beginning of a sentence or wherever you use it to just almost say, like, while this may be the case, because that's what he's about to say. While this is the case, though I do such and such, go ahead.
Speak with the tongues of men and of angels.
So I speak with the tongues of men. As the officer Yanazar said, that's just what? Just languages that people speak. The tongues of men has to be languages that men speak. Like what?
It's like English.
Right. Some more.
Latin.
Yep. What's up?
Greek.
What else?
French.
What else?
Italian.
Yeah.
Japanese.
There you go.
Mandarin.
Cantonese.
Okay.
And whatever them Africans that Yanazar showed me on his phone with the clickety clicks. All of that is tongues of men. Those are just languages that what? Men speak. And this is why in the Bible, oftentimes you will see all the heathen nations referred to as what? As the sons of men. Okay. They are not the sons of
God, sir.
They're not the sons of God. And you may say, well, that's confusing because isn't Christ called the Son of Man? Well, wait a minute. Christ is called the Son of Man, but he's also called the what? The Son of God. Him being called the Son of Man is just to let you know he's what?
It's like, sir, a human.
That's all. That's why he's called the Son of Man. To let you know he's a person. He's a human being. He has flesh. You know, technically any of us could also be sons of men because what? Because we're human beings. As we know from the book of is it Ecclesiasticus? Do we all come from Adam? Ecclesiasticus, right? We all come from Adam. So if we all come from Adam and they're the sons of men, you could say we're all what? Sons of men because we all come from Adam. But it's about the what of a thing.
It's like sort of context.
Definitely. So yeah, you're right. I'll take that. Take what you just said and this other word together, and now you got it. It's about the context of a thing and the.
So like it's a specification.
Nope. The spirit of a thing.
The
context and the spirit of a thing is what it's all about. Because you can, in a certain sense, again, you're the Son of Man, but because of your spirit and because of who you are, your lineage, you would be considered the sons of God, one of the sons of God, one of the sons of the Most High, just like Christ is the Son of the Most High. All right. But yeah, it says, so though I speak with the tongues of men, which is what? Simply the languages. And we know that, right? Let me see. No, you wanted this from last week, so I'm gonna continue with these. The pronouns. I'll erase Bob Kushah. Yeah, I'll erase that. Salakia.
You want like a wet nap?
No, I'll let you know, but we should be too wild for now. Oh crap, that's crazy. Right. We understand clearly. We broke it down the other day. The word tongue in many languages is simply used metaphorically to mean what? Language. Right? Tongue in Hebrew is Lashawan. Right? And then you add a wa in the middle of the word. Right? And you're left with La. Sha. One. Which means what? Language.
Come, come.
All right. Let's put it like and it still reverts back to its origin, which is why you'll often see a breakdown. If you look in your blue letters or in your concordances, you'll see the relationship between Lashon and Lashawan is usually not very defined. It's almost like the same word, but that's because tongue is so often used to mean language. So they're just tied together. The same thing with what? In English. Because if I say to someone, if you the scripture you're reading says what? Though I speak with the tongues of men. Now, if someone's being cheeky and literal, what are they gonna say? Pause. They're gonna say what? Paul got other men's tongues? I ain't gonna say it. That's crazy.
Yeah, yikes.
Because that's what it would sound like if we be literal, right? I speak with the tongues of men. Well, he only has his own tongue. So how could he speak with the tongues of men? Wouldn't make sense. So it's a metaphor. It's wording. You know what I'm saying? Speaking again how black people speak.
Come, come.
It's figurative language, right? So yeah, so tongue here simply means language. Though I speak with the languages of men. Go ahead.
Come, come. And of angels.
Now I want someone who's such a smart Christian or a fake Israelite to tell me what that means. You can't prove he's talking about the Lashawan Qadash. How do you know? Well, then tell me what he's talking about.
Right.
What are the tongues of men? We just said it. The brother just said Japanese, Chinese, Cantonese, Mandarin, right? Igbo, all of this. If those are the tongues of men and those are what? Languages. Then what would be the language? It got to be some kind of language.
That's right.
You want to say it's not Lashawan Qadash? What is it? You want to tell me Yiddish? What is it? Maybe it's some secret language.
Oh no.
Maybe it's some secret language that no man has ever spoken in the history of the world.
Wow.
How in the hell does Paul know how to speak it?
That's right.
Because he just said, I speak with the tongues of men and of angels. Okay. So is he the only man on earth that has ever known how to speak this tongue of angels?
Right.
That wouldn't make sense. You'd have to prove that, right? The tongue of angels simply means he speaks the original language.
That's right.
Which we know to be what? We call it today Lashawan Qadash. That's what we call it now. It's the holy tongue or the separate tongue, the separate language. Finish that out, brother.
Okay. And have not charity. I am become as sounding brass.
Right. This is the brotherhood scripture. He's telling you, even though I can do amazing things, I can speak a bunch of languages, even on earth. Isn't that impressive today?
Yeah, come.
It's impressive today if a brother can say, I speak English, I speak Spanish, and I speak French. That's impressive. But imagine how much more impressive it is, as brother says, I speak English, Spanish, French, Mandarin, and I speak the same language that angels speak when they speak to
Good
the
night.
That's impressive. But he's saying even that means nothing if what?
Come. Want me to skip down to what, the two?
No, just read the full time.
Okay, come. And have not charity.
Right. Though I do those things, but I don't have charity, meaning what? I don't have brotherhood.
Right.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Charity is not you giving to the Red Cross.
Right.
That is not charity.
Okay.
Okay. Charity is brotherhood.
Damn right.
Sacrifice. Charity is what we're going to do tomorrow when we go to camp, Lord willing. You know what I'm saying? Why? Because we are sacrificing for our brothers. Charity is what my brother Trooper Akashkar is doing because he's sacrificing his time.
Damn
You know what I'm saying? That's what we do for our brothers and sisters. Charity does not necessarily mean money. All right. Mm-hmm. So he said, though I speak with the tongues of men and of angels, but I don't have charity. He's giving an example, right? He's not saying this is who he is, right. But he said, but if that was me, I do all these things, but I didn't have charity, I didn't have brotherhood. Go ahead.
God. I am become as sounding brass.
I come as what?
Sounding brass.
Sounding brass. Go ahead.
God. Or a tinkling cymbal.
Or a tinkling cymbal. Sounding brass. You ever hear somebody playing a brass instrument like a trumpet or something who don't know what they're doing? It's horrible to hear.
Just noise.
It's what? It's just noise. Mm-hmm. Or a tinkling. What's that? It's just noise.
God.
Go ahead.
God. Verse 2. And though I have the gift of prophecy,
Right, there we go. More, he's a prophet. Go ahead.
and understand all mysteries
Uh-huh.
and all knowledge,
Uh-huh.
and though I have all faith,
Yeah, he got everything. He got everything according to the Bible in terms of what? Knowledge. Not every that's not everything, because remember, what's the most important commandment that Christ gave us? To love thy brother as thyself. To love the Most High with all thy heart and thy soul. And the second is like unto the first, love thy brother as thyself. But he's saying what? I know them breakdowns. I know them scriptures. Some of them niggas try to creep up in here. You can't do it. You come up in here because some people just love to be smart, Maya Shaw. Love it. Just love to be the smart. I remember my pops teaching me when I was real young. No one likes to know it all.
Yeah,
that's not to say that you shouldn't study and be on your square. I'm not
damn
telling
right.
you that. But guess what? But if you study all day and you know them breakdowns, you know them scriptures, and you can just call, some brothers can just call them scriptures. They season like that. You know what I'm saying? They just, Yanazar is better with that than I am. I never remember the damn scripture exactly where it is. But some brothers can just give me Jeremiah 17:6. Give me that, and they just remember it off the top. Right? But Yanazar, the difference with them and Yanazar is that Yanazar doesn't have that,
right,
and then mistreat his brothers, then talk down on his people.
Right.
Then say, well, you know what? I work for the post office for however long, and I'm tired, and I got some issues, and I'm gonna just stay home, and y'all go ahead, go to camp, and I'll just pay my. He doesn't do that. He says, no, I'm getting in the game. I'm getting in the game with my brothers because he loves his people.
Damn right.
That's the difference. You understand what I'm saying? So yeah. So when it says, read that part again.
And though I have the gift of prophecy and understand all mysteries and all knowledge, and though I have all faith, so that I can remove mountains and have not charity,
but I don't have charity. Go ahead.
I am nothing.
I'm nothing. Any more?
That's in.
You can drop it. Most High in Christ. So this is what we're talking about. We're talking about the language of the angels. All right. So now let's get into it for today. So there's a couple more directions. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and erase this right here. This was a breakdown of how we use tongue in Lashawan. Of course, how do we say holy in Hebrew? Qadash. Right. That's why it's called Lashawan Qadash. It just means holy tongue or holy language, set apart. Language. That's what holy means. Holy.
Damn right.
As I always say, has nothing to do with how well you bang tambourines, pause. If y'all watched the Chainbreakers podcast today, there was a cat on there, but I bet they thought he was holy. There was a cat on there. Made a baby, put a baby in some woman, he got a child with her, and then he turned into a flaming hot Cheeto. I never seen nothing like that in my life. Yeah, when I say flaming hot Cheeto, pause, I just mean he's turned into a raging LGBTQ character. He was in a suit with a woman sitting basically on his lap, looking like, again, not strong to our eyes in ISUPK, because we look at all men that's not in here like weak and effeminate. But in the eyes, in the worldly eyes, he looks like a regular brother. He looks like, kind of metro, but not even like the kind of metro where you would automatically say, oh, he's gay. I mean, again, we in here would know, but just think church metro. He has in a way, but more like he looks like a church guy. He looks like a guy that every woman in the church wants him. He got dreads piled up on top of his head. You know what I'm saying? He obviously goes to the gym and he works out and he wears, a suit that's tighter than it's supposed to be. And then, but he went from that to being gay. And like Yanazar said, it wasn't just he went to, just, okay, I'm gay now. You know what I'm saying? I like men, but he's still kind of masculine. And I mean, you can't be masculine and be gay.
That's right.
Let me make sure I say this right.
Damn right.
His demeanor, you see some cats be what they call it. Well, make sure I say this right. I don't want to get clipped on the live. They be blank thugs. Remember that phrase? Think of the phrase. Okay, a gay man is a blank sexual.
Yes.
Now take that same blank.
Come.
There you go.
Yeah.
So, those kind of people. Again, we wouldn't call them masculine,
That's right.
but they portray themselves as masculine. But no, this cat went off the deep end into a wedding dress and wigs and makeup and a pink hat and had a crop top. Oh, it was crazy. Yeah, with the whole now I know some brothers, you know what I'm saying, like, who wear ripped jeans, you know what I mean, your little piece of your knee might be out or something. He had his whole thigh out of the jeans. You know what I mean? It was wild.
Real quick, he was just deeply closeted, right?
Absolutely.
That's what we're going with. Okay, all right.
Absolutely.
He didn't just one day.
Yeah, no, he was a closeted cat. Mm-hmm. That's a fact. That's a fact. All right. So continuing with these these directions. There's just two more I just wanted to add if I could. So just bear with me just a moment. I'm gonna get to that after the fact. We got Tazad for side. Okay. And we'll get a sentence with it too. All right. So in the same fashion, so just again, I don't want to get rid of these because we're going to use these today. So I'm just going to kind of just create a little, a little partition. Oh man, I need new markers. Not y'all. I'll let you. So I'm gonna ask everybody how to say this word. This one, y'all. I think y'all can get it. No, we'll say so. Unto and unto is essentially the same word in English, but we'll, just for the sake of making it clear, we'll say unto, so you know the context. So we're looking for how to say unto in Hebrew. Who knows, man? Again, this is one of our last two for directions. If you've been in that Sabbath service, you have read this word at least 8. I mean, if you've been consistently in the Sabbath service, you've read this word, hundreds of times. It's almost in every damn sentence. Hold on, Maya Shaw? Yeah, Yanazar. Close. Who knows what laka? Officer Yanazar said laka. Who knows what laka means? Not quite. It's actually, I see why you thought it was this word. There we go. Laka is to you. This again being an example of what we call a pronominal in that what? The ka here is not being used as a possessive of ownership. Instead, it's being used as what? As a pronoun, right? And the la here is what we call a preposition, right? Going at the beginning of a word, and it means that when you put la at the beginning of a word, it means what? What does la mean at the beginning of a word? It means to, which is why if I say La Yasha'Allah. What am I saying? Here we go. I'm saying to Israel. But no, that's not how we say unto. How we say unto, I'll give you another hint. It's a word. When you write it in Hebrew, and you write it in the Assyrian because you don't have connectors, it'll make you, it's one of those words where it could make you think it's another word. Because without the connectors, you don't know how many syllables. A very prominent word, a very important word. In fact, we just kind of used that word, except it was a part of another word. Come on, man. I know y'all been reading that Hebrew when y'all not in class. Don't tell me y'all been going all week and y'all ain't looked at that Hebrew not one time. Don't tell me that. Let's go to the book of Exodus. Let's go to Exodus, the 33rd chapter, and start the first verse. Yanazar, I want you to read it in the Hebrew if you can, Bob Kushah. Unless someone else wants to give it a go. Maya Shar, let's get it. The book of Exodus, chapter 33 and verse 1.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 33, verse 1 in the Hebrew.
Read it in English first.
Oh, okay. And the Lord said unto Moses, depart and go up hence, thou and the people which thou hast brought up out of the land of Egypt, unto the land which I swear unto Jacob. Unto the land which I swear unto Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob, saying, unto thy seed will I give it.
Okay, now give it to me in Hebrew.
Okay. The book of Exodus, chapter 33, verse 1 in the Hebrew. We the bar, Yahweh, Allah, Mashah. Salaki, is that Laka, Allah, Allaha, Mazaha, Atah, Waha'aim, Ashar, Ha'alayah, 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 the Ha'alayah, Ma'aratazah, Matazariyam, Matazarayim, it's like Allah, Ha'aratazah, Ashar, Nashaba'aythaya, Nashaba'aythaya, Nashaba'aythah, La Abraham, La Yatazah, Yatazakwa, La Yatazah, Tazakha, Wala Quab, La Quab, Duncan, La Amar, Lazara'id, Lazaraka, it's like it. Athanana.
Who caught it?
It's lucky, sir.
Go ahead, Akash.
Al.
Give him a hand. That's the word. Even though Maya Shar, you said Allah, which is what I was saying when I said it can be mistaken for another word. because it's spelled as such in Assyrian. Sa'ah and Allah. So if you don't know any better, you could just see this and say, well, it could be Allah, which means what in Hebrew?
Power.
Right? But oftentimes what they do, how they do help you is you'll see it and you'll see it connected. As in this sentence, it's actually used like 3 times. But they'll actually put a dash and then they'll say something like,
Oh, all right.
like al masha, which means what? Unto.
Oh,
What does masha mean? Or whose name is that? Unto Moses, right? So al means unto. It is not Allah. It is al.
Oh, not I.
Mm-hmm. Right. It's al. Now, and notice as well, we see laka in this sentence too, right? We also see a tha. We see a lot in this sentence. If we look at this sentence, we will see a few things that are on this board. We see al, we see a tha, right? We see laka, to you, right? We see also al, was it al aratazar? Al ha-aratazar, which means what? We go down. Al. Yep. Egypt. It says, yeah. It has brought up out of the land of Egypt unto the land which I swear unto Abraham, and so on. Unto al. You see it right here. Clear as day. That's why I tell y'all, get familiar with using this form of the blue letter. Get familiar with using what is called the interlinear. Right? Put your settings when you go to blue letter. Put it on forward interlinear. It says forward inline. It's or FWD inline. What that means is forward interlinear. What that means is it's going to put it in the order, right, of the words from right to left. That's the forward part. The interlinear part means that it's going to put it in between the lines. It's going to break it down in between in between the lines of text. As opposed to if we just did forward, it would give us a list like this. See, it would just go from up and go down and give us the list of words, but it wouldn't show us the words dispersed in between the lines of English text. So this is the best way to read this.
Like you said forward inline?
Yes. And that what that does is you'll see it from right to left. See, yeah. So from right to left. And so you can, first of all, the beauty of it is you can see right there. You can literally, if you're in the Sabbath service, you can read this right here. You can read it from here. Don't read this bottom part because that's the root word. You want to read up here where it says, Waya Debar, Yahweh, Al Masha, Laka. Scroll down, a word there. Ilah, Mazah, Atha. That is a, you can read it just like that. Give my Shah a hand. Somebody's listening. Most High in Christ. Please.
There's also a Blue Letter app. Like, I don't have to keep going to a website.
There is, and it's trash. Don't use it.
The app?
Terrible.
Because, I mean, I don't know, some would I have more windows?
Yeah. Trust me.
Don't
At
come.
least, me and Officer Yanazar, you know what I'm saying? We've been, you know what I'm saying? I haven't been doing the Sabbath service in a little while now, but I remember me and Yanazar used to do the Sabbath service, like pause. Used to do the Sabbath service, and we was trying to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, what should we use? And all those things. And, you know, we realized early, like, nah, this is trash. Don't use that. Use the website. The website is about perfect.
Okay.
Okay. So now, one more. And again, this is more so of a conversational direction, right? But also you can be, remember, on to, and there's other ones too. For example, how do we say on something? How do you say on?
Yes, like I don't. Oh, I missed that.
If I could, can I get one of those wipes?
Yeah.
One should. Yeah, something. All right. Sure. Bear with us just a moment. Now, on or in is ba, but it's a prefix, so it goes what? Right? The beginning of a word. Yes. How many you got? We'll figure it out. That's why we can do that. But I mean, I think you must have Google prepositions.
I think this is like more about
Well, we're gonna figure it out today. Let's get it. And one more, and then we'll get the ones you're talking about, bro. Probably, I know you did, bro. Now this one everybody should know. If I have to, if somebody doesn't get this answer in, I mean, freaking milliseconds, I'm gonna be upset. I'm gonna just write it.
Apak. Oh, no, that's about this. Oh, Slacky sir, Sar.
Sar, which of course means to turn. Okay. Also, here's a new word. Look, I'm running out of space. I gotta get better with this. No, I'm gonna just erase this right here. I'll just erase this up top, and because I'm actually gonna end up erasing all of this, really. There's a way to say way, which also means road in Hebrew, or path. That word is darak. All right, darak. And so now, what I would like before we move on to this next phase, I would like to see who can ascertain how would we formulate the sentence, I'm on my way. Every word you need is on this board.
Real quick, so it's like the rock. That's also a preposition slash prefix. Oh, yeah, okay.
Thought the rock. Give him a hand. Give him a hand. See that? Smooth. Atha ba darakia. Lakia. Akash, I'm gonna go ahead and full screen myself so everybody can see it. I know all at the bottom. And we get rid of some of these. Bear with me. Boom. Display names. Okay. See that? You see how that brother formulated that sentence? All he needed to know was what? Was this word. And this is a noun. There's no technically, there are no verbs in this sentence.
Oh, okay. So
This is a noun. The way, the path, the road. This is a possessive pronoun or a pronominal. This is a preposition. And this is a pronoun. Right? Now, guess what? In English, you have what? I am. The am is called, as we said many times, a connecting verb. That's the verb in that sentence. In English, when you say, I am on my way, or I'm on my way as a contraction, the am is the verb or the predicate in that phrase. But in Hebrew, we don't have that. The am is implied. It's you don't have to, there's no word for it. You know what I'm saying? First of all, let me correct myself. Anya. I wrote Anya. Salakia. Bear with me. I know Maya Shaw wanted to say something. Why didn't you say something, Mark?
no,
You definitely, I can see it in your eyes. You knew I messed up. It's Anya, my bad. Because would be what? No, it would be you. That's what you would ask. I would call a brother and say, Anya Badarakia? You on your way? Well, no, because that would be my way. So I have to change the suffix. So it would be what? Anya Badarakka. Anya Badarakka? I would have to say that. But here is Anya. Or I would probably say Darakyaka. You know, that buffer between to make it sound right. Because Darakka is just a funky kind of phrasing. And that's why oftentimes you see things like yaka at the end. It could be one or two things. Sometimes it's just because it's plural. It's possessive, but it's also plural. And then sometimes it's like a buffer because saying Darakka is like awkward.
Yeah.
Darakka.
Yeah.
But yes, I'm on my way. Anya Badarakia. Okay. Now you said something. You said more. You want more prepositions, right? Could you list them again?
Yeah, come on. Okay, so I got in on.
What's the first one?
Well, you already answered that. In on this.
In or on is ba at the beginning of a word. Go ahead.
Come on.
With.
With. Okay, let's see what we got.
So we just find like a scripture that uses the word. Most High Christ.
You can. Because with also might be. We'll see. Let's see. Do. Just a moment.
With the Lord. Or the Lord was with David.
I see different versions, different words used. Let me get with Hobbs. Let me get back to you on with.
Okay, come on.
The next one I have, Melissa, is at.
Yeah, I don't know if I can hear.
I don't know. I don't even know if
That might not even be old English. Like, what the?
only one I can think of is in the prayer when it says perished at Endor.
Ah.
Yeah, at is just ba.
Oh. Okay.
Right. When we read that part in the prayer in the Psalms 83.
Oh,
right.
Like on. So okay, so the four.
Nashamadwa Ba'ayan Da'ara Hayawa Daman La'adama. That Ba'ayan, excuse me. Yeah, that Ba'ayan. Slakia. Ba'ayan Da'ara. Ayan Da'ara is indoor. You follow me?
Yeah. Okay, come on.
Go to Psalms 83 on the blue letter, 83 and verse 10.
Ba. Ayan. Ba, yeah, come on. Be yeah, ba.
So when we read that prayer and we go Ba'ayan Da'ara, that part means at indoor.
Come on.
Okay, so you can just put that next to these as at as well.
Oh, okay.
Because guess what? If I say yo, I'm at the park, I could have also said what? I'm in the park.
On the park?
I'm at the store. I'm at the store. Excuse me, store. I'm at the store. I'm in the store.
Come on.
I'm at the school. I'm in the school.
Come on.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, most of the part. Okay.
Okay, so like sir, the next one I got on the list is by.
By.
By the way, we're
By is like, oh, wait, like next to?
yeah, count.
All right, let's see. Hold up, wait. Let me check something. Salakia.
Okay.
I might have the answer for that one. Bear with me just a moment. Akim and Akwathian tuning in.
What?
What's up?
Okay, so I used so like sir, I used Deuteronomy 28 and 68. You know, by the way whereof. Now, by the way the rock, but ba is the like kind of like is the prefix.
Oh, so it's by the rock?
By the rock, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So by the way whereof, I mean, so it's
In
by
that context,
us.
is like on the way.
Oh,
Because we were on a certain path.
okay, got it.
Or in a certain place.
Right.
So it's like, you know what I'm saying, in this place. Right. Hold on 1 second. Let's see. I may not be able to do this one, but I'm going to try anyway, real quick. I think it might be aisle, but I want to make sure. I haven't had that in forever. Oh, no, shit. Con, we'll save that one as well. I believe I have an inkling for it, but I want to get clarification. So right now we have, what was it? By, and what was the other one you wanted? I said hold off on. I think with.
Yeah, kind of.
John. What else you got?
All right, the other one is direction, but I think it's going to use as like up. That's next on the list.
You said up?
Yeah, but it's direction.
Yeah.
About.
It's like it. I think that's one of those words that has different context, so it has different words and different, because you got like roundabout, about in terms of like, okay, if I'm talking about you, that means like concerning you. So there's like a few different ways that could be used. Again, clarification. I'll get clarification on. You know what I'm saying? I'm assuming you mean like about in that context of like speaking about someone or of someone.
Yeah, because if it's a preposition, it would be about somebody.
Mm-hmm. Which probably, if that's the case, it probably would be the same word as of. Let's see. Hmm. Because there's also a such thing as, look up the word, is it connecting preposition or a preposition? I can't remember the phrase. I'm gonna get it.
Okay. Prepositions connect nouns, pronouns, and noun phrases with other words in a sentence and can describe relationships between those words or phrases. Using a preposition with a noun phrase creates a connecting phrase.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, why didn't they just? I said connecting preposition. A connective prepositional phrase is longer. The preposition is followed by a finite clause or full clause, or a non-finite clause or a gerund clause. Okay, now we get
Right. I got it. A preposition of connection describes relationships, accompaniments, and possessions. Right? To is used for relationships between people or things, with for accompaniment, and of for possession. So in English, the word of sometimes is a connecting preposition, as in the home of the truth. In Hebrew, we don't really have that. In Hebrew, if we were to say home of the truth, if we were to break it down literally, it would be what? Home truth. Or it could be either one. It could be home truth or truth home. But it would be there's no word for of the truth. It would just be how we say home in Hebrew. Bayath, how we say truth. Amath Khan. That's truth. So home of the truth in Hebrew, we would say, if you want to say the truth, it would be Bayath Ha-Amath. Home, the truth. But there's no of, because that's in English, again, a preposition of connection. We don't really use that. We don't really have a word for that. When we use of, it means it's the origin of a thing, right? So that particular preposition you're asking about of, no, you said, which one was the last one? Slakia?
Oh, it's like, sir, about.
About. So we might say a sentence like, you could say, okay, you could say, 50 Cent had a song, one of the last 50 songs that I cared about. Came out like 2000, what was it, like 2009? Do you think about me? You could also say what? Do you think of me?
Right.
Usually you can, those words are interchangeable, right? You should read about me. You should read of me. Yeah.
Okay, like so like when we say, the Bible is about the Israelites, well, we can't. It's of the Israelites. We can't say of the Israelites. Well, no, you can't say it's of the Israelites.
Again.
Oh, okay. Come on,
But that goes back to the context,
right?
So again, if you depending on how you're using about, like if I say, because I can say, man, I want to read about the Beatles. I can also say, I want to read of the Beatles. That wouldn't necessarily be wrong. It's weird and old. It sounds old, but it wouldn't be wrong. You know what I'm saying? It sounds like Lord of the Rings talk.
Yeah, it's like Surf I May.
Yeah.
So then that would mean about maybe is kind of like a more recent thing. Because if of is how they used to say of this, of that.
Let's go to etymology. Let's see. Etym online, and let's see about.
So, like, sir, what's that site? Meta online.
Etym,
Oh.
ETYM online. Which is also an adverb. Middle English, abut. From Old English, abuten. Earlier, onbuten. On the outside of, around the circumference of, enveloping, in the vicinity of, near, hither, and thither. So about used to not mean it in that way. About in English would never mean speaking of someone. It was only used what? About face or round about. To be, he was about 300 years old. Meaning again, encompassing something, near something, circling something. Now, that's a different context. And if we want the word in that context, we simply have to find it. And I'm glad you're joining us today, because this is just a lesson in context and understanding that just because you see a word doesn't mean that that word has the same meaning all the time, because it doesn't. So now let's see if we can find something, a sentence that says something like he began to be about something years old.
Something like that. But I just like maybe type into Google scriptures with the word about. You know? See, they finished my sentence for me, so now I can't. So I typed in scriptures with the word about. They go, will say about scripture, about God, about blah, blah, blah. They finish it for me. I'm looking for about. Like, what in the hell?
About it. He turned himself about from them.
Oh.
Bounds of the people. Roundabout. About. No sweat. Yeah. Again, I think "al" is the right word, but but I'll get with Hazahab. So write down the 3 and send them to me, Baba Kushab.
Okay, cool.
What else you got?
Come, into, but that we just did that. Onto, into, same thing. Over is kind of direction, so we got that. After.
Well, okay. So after I'm gonna get that, but that reminds me of another word to put up here.
Okay.
Which is when.
Ooh.
Because it's related to time, so I figure I might as well put it up here while I'm up here.
Wait.
So where I'm gonna erase these pronouns for now. No.
I think you did that with questions. When?
Probably.
Okay.
I think I've done all of this before at some point. What?
So, like, so where can I get you more of these expo markers? I'll get some more for the class. Like, what I get them?
Walmart ordered them online.
Oh,
Like Amazon.
Or you can get them at Walmart.
Walmart does have it.
Walmart has them.
Okay. I'll get some more.
Yeah. Where is Ayah?
Or so like so or Anyan.
Ayah.
Oh. So why do I have Ayan?
Ayun is like don't or something like that. Or yeah, Ayun is like don't. Like Ayun the boy.
Like yeah.
It's like, I think Ayun is nothing.
Because like yeah, same way spelling except for in it. But yeah, that's nothing. Okay.
I think Ayun is nothing.
The word nothing or
I think Ayun is the word nothing.
oh okay.
So what was the other word you wanted? You wanted after, right?
Yeah, come. Nothing. These things.
Just a moment.
Okay. I think I have it, sir.
That?
It's like, is there achar?
Mm-mm.
No?
What does it say when you get the blue letter?
Oh yeah, come on, I went to Genesis 22:1,
Mm-hmm.
and right there it says, and it came to pass after these things.
Oh, I see. Okay,
Oh, I
come on
think-
after.
Yeah.
So when I believe is mafia, but let's get to after. So
Oh, see, so like it, sir. For mafia, I have win.
wing?
Win.
No, yeah, mafia is wing. Yeah.
Oh, okay. See, I'm okay. I was looking for after. What was I looking for after? Okay.
No, you said no. I was just saying. I wanted to get win up here first,
Okay.
but yeah, you did say after. So yeah, let's go to it.
No, so like, okay.
You swap. Do. Mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm. Where?
Ew, they put the Greek here too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, geez. Hmm. Okay. Yeah, so like so that's what I think it is. A car. A car.
A car is other.
Car?
Let's see. I know for a fact that a car is other. But yeah, I think you're correct.
So other must be.
A car for after. But I believe it. I know for a fact it also means other.
Come on. I'll just put in parentheses. Other.
Yeah, I might. Let me just see. Yeah. Others, another, next. So yeah, so do like no. Okay. What else did you have, Maisha?
I think that's it, sir.
Yeah, you gotta send me those. Yeah, send me those, and I'll get you clarification for next week.
As far as questions go, what is why and how?
Okay, I can help you with that. So why? So why and how, right?
Who, what, where, when. I'm listening to more questions. Like who, what, where, when, why, how.
No, I think that's pretty much it with questions. If I'm not mistaken. All right, I got how. We're gonna go to a scripture. Let's see. Go to Genesis. Genesis chapter 47 and verse 8. Can I read it in English first? Sure. Yeah, read the English first and then read it in Hebrew.
Okay. The book of Genesis, chapter 47, verse 8 in English. And Pharaoh said unto Jacob, how old art thou?
Right. And Pharaoh said unto Jacob, how old art thou? Right. Now read it in Hebrew.
The book of Genesis, chapter 47, verse 8 in the Hebrew. Wayamar, Paraiah, Al, Yaquab, Bamaha, Yamaya, Shaniya, Chayayaka.
Okay.
So
you said Bama by accident, but it's Kama. Kama.
did I?
You said Ba. It's Kama.
Yeah. What the hell? That's obviously.
It's no
It's a
sweat.
lot here. Lot.
No,
That
man,
is
chill.
obviously a
It's all
Kama. Kama.
Mm-hmm.
Most High Christ.
So how? That's how we would. And of course, it depends on the context. But what does ka mean at the beginning of a word?
It's like, sir, you.
No.
How?
Ka means you at the end of a word.
Oh. Your?
Mm-mm.
No. The same thing. See,
As or like. So kama, because what is how we say, what is ma in Hebrew? What? So if you break it down, going back to what this whole thing we were talking about, It's how all these things come together. All of our words, if you break them down, these prefixes and possessives and so on, they mean something. So kama, as we see in this sentence we just read, how old are you? If you really break kama down, it's like saying, like what? Or in what way? Which is the same thing as saying how. If I say, how did you learn that? It's the same way as me saying, in what fashion or in what way, like what? Like how? Like what did you do to learn that? You look confused.
Yeah, kind of. So, okay. Like, all right. So I wrote down, possessives at the end of the words, right? And I have like ka as your.
It is.
Like, Shamka, what is your, your name?
Yep.
But how at the, okay.
No,
it's ka at the beginning.
Yeah, ka at the beginning of a word means like or as. So again, you got to do a little bit of mental exercise in understanding. If you got to think about a word and what does it actually mean? Right. So if you say like or as, it's like saying what? Same as, or in the same fashion, in a similar way, right? Meaning so if I say he dances like Michael Jackson, what am I saying?
So like I said, he dances in the same way.
In the same way, the same process, the same function. Right. It's similar or the same. So ka means like or as,
same.
Or so in other words, in this way. You understand what I'm saying? In this way. So ma is like in what way? Ma is what? And this is like the way or the fashion, the way you do something. You know what I'm saying? Like what? In what way? In what fashion? Meaning what? How? And what was the other one you wanted?
It's like zero. Why?
Bear with me. Bear with me.
Why?
You said you already got what, who, and where, right?
Who, what, where, when, and how. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I think I got it. I think I see something here. So I'm gonna just get one more example. I have one. I want to get one more. And this is gonna be the last thing for the class. Which I'm glad you asked these questions. Believe it or not, I'm not making this up. This is kind of going along with what I wanted to get into because I wanted to talk about how, again, not just possessives, but possessives, prepositions, how they combine, how they are the foundation, the framework of Hebrew. If you look at a lot of words, there's a reason why a certain word will start with a sha or a certain word will end with a certain word. I'm not gonna write it down, but an example would be, how do we say water in Hebrew?
Mayam, sir.
Mayam. How do we say heavens in Hebrew? Shamayim. Shamayim. What does sha mean at the beginning of a word? It means pertaining to. Shamayim, pertaining to or about the waters. Because remember, when the Lord made the heavens and the earth, he did what? There was the waters above and the waters below. So Shamayim means it's pertaining to or related to water, right? Because there, when you're in space, you might as well be under the ocean. It's the same thing. It's the exact same thing. You would feel like you're in water. First of all, you can't breathe, just like you can't breathe in the water. You can't move, so you can't move in the water unless you know how to swim. Right. The difference is, I think, in space is like, at least in the water, there's, you can move because it's water. You can push, but in space, it's like nothing. So you're just gonna be, it's a vacuum. You're just floating, right? But it's still very similar to. That's why a lot of astronauts, they do, or at one point they trained a lot in water and things like that. Now they have like zero gravity and they can just be in this kind of space capsule type thing, right? But but this is related to what we were talking about. So how being kama, why? We get one more. So we got the first one. So go to bear with me. Go to Genesis 4 and 6.
Okay. Want to read English first? Okay. The book of Genesis, chapter 4, verse 6 in the English. And the Lord said unto Cain, why art thou wroth? And why is thy countenance fallen?
Right. Why art thou wroth? Now read it in Hebrew.
Come on. Book of Genesis, chapter 4, verse 6 in the Hebrew. V'yamar Yahweh al Kayan Lama Kara Laka Walama Napalawa Panayak.
So when it says, and the Lord said unto Cain, why art thou wroth? It says, Lama Kara. Isn't that a coincidence? How was Kama? Why Lama? Let's get one more example before we clip it. And in Genesis 12 and 19 starts, why saidest thou, she is my sister? So I might have taken her to me to wife. Now therefore, behold thy wife, take her and go thy way. Now when I read it in the Hebrew, it starts, it's the same first word in English as why. In Hebrew, it's lama, amartha, akathia, hawa'a, wa'akwak, atha, laya, la'asha, wa'aitha, hana, ashathka, kwak, walak, or walaka. Same thing, ma. And doesn't that make sense, right? Because if kama is, as we said, in what, like what? In what way? Why would be like to what? To what or for what purpose? When you're asking the question of why, you're saying, what's the purpose? So how is the way it is, which is, if you say something is like or as something, you're talking about the way it's similar. And why is, if how is asking the way something is, why is the reason. And two is like that, right?
Come on,
Cause, like, or as the fashion. And two is, again, like to what end or the purpose. To what? Almost like for what?
Come on.
Right? Hold up. Wait a minute. Hold up. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
What do we do?
Let me make sure I'm right before I say this, because I don't want no smoke with the men above me.
Yeah, it sounds good.
Hold up. I'm gonna show you something, and then that's gonna be the end of the class today. Because how could I forget? And this explains it perfectly. Got him. Brother Baba Kushak, this is a list of the prepositions. I want you to read where it says la and tell me what la means.
Come on. La. Two or four.
Two or what?
Two or four.
Two or four. And there you have it, right there. Two or four. Now, if I say for what is that the same thing as saying?
It's like a la. I mean, two. Wait.
For what?
Oh, lama. Ah.
But it's the same thing as saying what?
Why?
Why? For what? Isn't that how black people talk? Isn't that how we say? For what? Why? For what?
Be nice for what?
It's the same thing. So there you have it, folks. Kama, lama, how and why. Most High in Christ. The water for the questions, brother. Those are excellent, excellent, excellent questions. Akash, did you have any questions, brother? You good?
Nah, sir. I'm just following along.
No sweat. We didn't do much in the way of actually writing out Hebrew letters today because we were just kind of learning some vocabulary, but that's no sweat. Next week, we'll make sure we start off with a strong review, alphabet review, right? Start off strong with that, and then we'll get back into the concept. Yeah, bro?
Oh, it's like, sir, I was going to say, like, didn't the body parts in the
Yes, the body
sentences?
parts.
Yeah.
We did it. We actually skipped. The only thing we didn't do today is simple sentences. We did directions. We worked a little bit with possessives. We did a simple sentence. We found out how to say Anya Badarakia. I'm on my way, right? And some more when we read the scripts, but we didn't do the body parts. But next week we'll do the body parts, and we'll combine it with the possessives, where we can say my hand, my hands, your hand, her head, so on, so on. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. But this is a great revelation right here, understanding how to say how and why. Kama, lama. You know what I'm saying? That's the why. All right. But if there's nothing else in the room, we good?
Yeah, come on, sir.
Most High in Christ. And with that, I'm gonna pass the class over to priest and officer of 500 Yanazar.
No time. Security announcements. We are the ISUPK. Started out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commandant General Yohana. New rules for brothers and sisters. When a new brother or a sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. there's another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. After this 6 month period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. You can find this in Numbers 18 and 21 and Malachi chapter 3, verses 8 through 10, means tenth in the Hebrew and is pronounced ma'ashara. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the Treasury Department or teacher. Priest fund. Free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like to give. Upcoming Holy Convocation, Friday, September 15th. And if you're in the North Carolina area, in Charlotte, North Carolina, we're having the Feast of the Blowing of the Trumpets, the memorial of the blowing of the trumpets. Remind Akim and Akwathian to check on social media such as isupk.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so on for ISUPK events and materials. If a brother wants to be a trooper in the school, then he needs to start wearing all black, which includes black boots, shirt, pants, headband or scarf, and with that, men of Israel, I imagine.
Like you guys started off,
One concept.
Other than English.
The Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanawa,
Abanawa,
Shabbat Shemayim,
Shemayim,
Qadash,
Qadash,
Hayah,
Hayah,
Shemka,
Shemka,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Malakwaka,
Malakwika,
Taba'ah,
Taba'ah,
Ratazayaka,
Ratazayaka,
Hayah,
Hayah,
Aisha,
Aisha,
Ba'arataza,
Ba'arataza,
Kawa,
Kawa,
Hayah,
Hayah,
Bashemayim,
Bashemayim,
Nathanawa,
Nathanawa,
Lakam,
Lakam,
Cow,
Cow,
Yawam,
Yawam,
Wasalaknawa,
Wasalatnawa,
Kabawatnawa,
Kabawatnawa,
Kasalaknawa,
Kasalatnawa,
Kabawatnawa,
Kabawatnawa,
Wala'ah,
Wala'ah,
Tabi'ayanawa,
Tabi'ayanawa,
Banasaya 1,
Buenosai 1,
Abol,
Abol,
Awashayanawa,
Awashayanawa,
Mayan,
Mayan,
Rai,
Rai,
Kaya,
Kaya,
Laka,
Laka,
Hamalakwith,
Hamalakwith,
Waha'ala,
Waha'ala,
Wahaparith,
Waha'parith,
La'aiwalamyam,
Awalumium,
Arman.
Amen. In the English, our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not